Hey Dean, Steer Performance. We're at the shop today, and you can see behind me we got Jeff's S10 up on the list. So he's getting rid of the 4L60. It's already out. Putting in the Power Glide, and it just had a couple of leaks. You can see sitting on the table, it's dripping out of the pan. And I believe it's dripping out of the converter seal. I had it running for a couple minutes, so he's going to bring it back to the guy, have him go through it, just double check everything's still good. But we are making a ton of progress on DJ's Cutlass, the 72 Cutlass. So it's got the 6.0 LQ4 with Gen 4 rods. We did do a cam in it. So it's got all new cam bearings. It's can't remember exactly what it is, but if I have a picture, I'll put the picture. It gives the lift duration, all that stuff. I think it's a Texas Speed Bald Eagle that I had here that need to be cleaned up, I believe. Yeah, I think that's it. But got the motor all painted nice and white. Painted the water pump white to kind of blend that into the motor, because I think the water pumps on the LSs are ugly. Yeah, the pulley's black to kind of offset it a little bit. It's going to get rubbed wear anyway, so I'd rather not have that white. Headers are in, plugs, new plugs, NGK TR55s, gapped at like 45. And then the Excel ceramic coated boot, or ceramic boot wires, so all that looks good. I got the ICT billet, the AC compressor, kind of a relocation bracket for the truck offset. I believe it comes where you can use it for like the Camaro style or something. I think the bracket goes behind the pump if you're using it like on a Camaro, you know, where you use the F-body pump with the like Corvette and Camaro crank pulley. I think this bracket works with that. There's extra spacers in there and stuff, but regardless, the alternator and power steering bracket is on, just loosely on, but this side's all tightened up. I have to get a 6-rib clutch, which nobody seems to have for the compressor, so we may end up just swapping the compressor. I'm going to go tomorrow to the AC store and see how I make out with that. I got the Holley low ram is on, the injectors are in, it's all bolted down, the crossover tube is done, the line is ran up. I got to get one more fitting, it's on its way to tie it into the back. And then the back over here is capped off, it's deadheaded, with a nice kind of flush plug that's got a little Allen set screw in it. Painted the valve covers black. Coils are mounted on there. We have coil covers coming for it to clean that up, because we don't like the way the coils look on them. It's not horrible. They do have the other, these are the coils that, you know, I have. They have the other style coils that aren't as bad looking, but we're still going to cover those up. Throttle body's all on, and I pull that little tube out and I thread in a 1/4-inch MPT plug. I just run a tap in it. You don't have to drill it, you just run a tap in it and then thread the plug right in it. Transmission's in, all bolted up. Dipstick is a little funny, probably end up changing that. I got the firewall all blocked off. I used a piece of 1/8-inch aluminum with some button head screws, like Allen screws, 1/4 thread with nuts on the back side. The condenser's standing up right now just so it doesn't pour oil, but I got to swap the fan to the other side, or I'm going to do it on the radiator. I got all the AC hoses out. The tape is off, and there's actually a round hole in the plate, so I believe I could do a grommet on that plate and not have to worry about making another patch. The throttle cable's all in, and what I did was, these throttle cables come with like a weird little bracket that kind of mounts to a piece like this with a hole. But these pedals are holes this way with like a little black grommet that catches the lead piece, that little lead piece right there. So what I did was I took the cable all the way out, took that little bracket off, and then just stuck it through the little black piece, and it worked out perfect that it catches the pedal like just right. So that's cool. The AC line's all the way out, all disconnected. There's a couple of wires hanging. I don't know what those are for yet, but I did pull all those wires back to over there for the, I believe he said it's a vintage air. So the wires were just kind of strung across and pushed into the fuse box and then strung out to the engine compartment. So these are the 3 wires. This is ground, this is 12 volt key on, and this is power to the compressor to turn the compressor on. So I disconnected the lines all the way back here at the box. What I'm going to do is, you can see where all the old holes are. There's my finger. All the old holes now are covered up by that panel. So what I'm going to do is go over here where these holes are, and I'm going to get like the billet bulkhead and attach the lines to there, and I'll run the wires out of grommet over there in the corner. Well, the one wire for the clutch, and then they should come out somewhere right over in here, and I'll run them behind the inner fender, and I'll come out and attach them. I'll come out the inner fender's off, but I'll tuck them behind the inner fender, and they'll come out and kind of swoop over into the top of the compressor. And then I'll just have the one wire that I'll probably run this over, and then I have to do the dryer on the Firewall too. So I'll mount that somehow. I'll figure all that out. But yeah, I'm plugging away. I got the steam port kit all done. I did it 4-corner. I had to make one of the little blocks. It was missing one in the kit, so I used like a factory one. I drilled it and tapped it for a 1/4 inch MPT, or no, yeah, I think it's 1/4 inch MPT dash 4 fitting. And then so that one has a T on the back and then a 90 on the top. Comes to this one with a T, comes to this one, and that one obviously runs over to that one. For the intake, the map sensor typically goes in the back down there. You can't really see it. Yeah, you can see that little aluminum plug at the bottom. I made that, put an O-ring on it, bolted it in where the map sensor actually bolts in, and then I plugged the next one up, which is like 3/8. No, I think that's another 1/4 inch MPT. So that one has a plug, and then I have some 3/8 MPT by Barb 90s coming that I can attach the brake booster hose to, and that's the only vacuum that I need. I have to make a throttle cable bracket to mount the throttle cable, which I'll probably cut it a little bit shorter. I mean, plugging away, I got the alternator and the power steering pump in the back right there on that box. They're painted. I cleaned them all up, painted them. So I'm going to try and get them on there possibly today if the paint dries. What else? The steering box fittings are in for the Dash 6. So all that is in. But the next thing will be running the Terminator, which I mounted the ECU. I think I showed it, but I'm not sure in the last one. Mounted the ECU up under the dashboard. The lights are still accessible. They are upside down, but they're accessible. All the plugs will come off the back. Yeah, I do need one vacuum hose for the map sensor because we're going to use the internal map sensor. And then the handheld is mounted there. It's pushed up right now so I can get the SD card out and do all that good stuff. But I mean, that's pretty much what's going on. Jeff's gonna bring the transmission, I believe, tomorrow. He's gonna drop it off. The guy's gonna go through it, do whatever, I don't know, pick it up, and he's gonna, I believe, drop it back off on his way back through. So we'll get that knocked out probably Monday. A lot going on. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. But appreciate you watching. Do me a favor, hit the like, the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. It helps me out. Hit the bell to be notified of new videos that come out, and leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Thanks. Have a good day.